Hey, it's Lucas, and today we're going to be trying this Kieron banana ice cake. Before we get into this video, I need to very quickly say that YouTube, this is 100% legal medication. I will not be showing the medication in this video. I will not be medicating in this video. I will purely be talking about this medication. Do not age restrict this video, please. This first caught my eye on the Montu website. A name like a banana ice cake sounds right up my street. I like the fruity strains, I like the creamy strains, I like the cakey strains. It sounds like it would be perfect. However, at £5.50 a gram, I'm not expecting this to be the best. Hopefully, if any terps come through, that will be a win. On the website, it shows this as coming in a white pot, so I was quite surprised when it showed up in a reflective silver bag, but I'm going to rip this open and we're going to get the smell. I know I said I was going to do the smell first, but looking straight down into the bag, it doesn't look half bad, you know. For £5.50 a gram, I was expecting this to look dead. Granted, the light's coming this way and not down into the bag, but it doesn't look terrible. Banana ice cake is a cross between banana, which I've never tried, wedding cake, which I really like, and gelato 42, which I've never tried. I've tried gelato 41, gelato 33, and bacio gelato. I feel like I've tried a different type of gelato as well, but I'm kinda semi-familiar with gelato flavours. My first impression of the smell is that it's not very strong at all. I have to really bury my nose in the bag to get any kind of terps. I'm getting a gassy, nose stingish sort of effect that smells almost like green bananas, like the really green ones, not the ones that are turning yellow, the actually fully green bananas. It doesn't smell bad, it's just not very strong at all. I would say it's more gassy, more fuely than it is fruity. I'm not really getting too much cake in there, more green bananas and gas. I think I would have preferred a bit more of the cakiness in there, but the green bananas and the gas is not bad at all. The nugs don't look as bad as I was expecting them to. They're small to medium-ish. They are kind of brown, but they're not like dirt brown. They look kind of similar to the mint sherbet, which I wasn't expecting, except I would say definitely worse, but they've got the same kind of blackish brown where it's trying to go purple. It's honestly not bad. For £5.50 a gram, I would say that this is looking pretty good, smelling alright. It's broken down to be really fluffy, but the smell is not great. I'm getting a gassy nose sting that's mixed with a mixture of, it smells like green bananas, but it also smells like overripe / rotten bananas mixed with fuel. It's like you've mashed some bananas, a mixture of them, all throughout the stages of ripeness, right? And then you've mixed it with some petrol or some diesel, whatever kind of fuel you want to put in there. And you've just kind of left it to sit in the sun, and it's all coagulated and gone gross. I don't like this smell. It doesn't really smell like cake at all. I'm really having to physically put my nose into the bud to get any kind of smell off that though, so what I do get is not nice. No cake smell at all. I was kind of hoping for more of a sweet, banana-y, little bit of gas in there, but I was really hoping for more of a sweet cake kind of smell. This is not what I wanted. The fact that the terps are so weak in the smell, I'm gonna give it a 4. I feel like I don't want to score this bud too low, because from the price point, it's doing pretty well so far. Obviously I haven't vaped any yet, but from the price point, it's doing just fine. But because it is at that price point, don't expect anything to be great. This is an indica dominant hybrid, and because this is my nighttime strain, I would usually just go straight in and around 185, but for the sake of the video, I'll start at 160. I'm stupid and I didn't realise my mighty was already set to 170, so I've skipped over 160 and gone straight in at 170. I'm really struggling to find any kind of flavour whatsoever. Maybe the faintest hint of sweetness, but it tastes like nothing. Again, at 180, I'm really struggling to find any flavour. I feel like I'm almost forcing my brain to pick up on some kind of sweet, almost banana loaf type flavour, but I don't think it's there. I think I'm imagining it, to be honest with you. I can't taste anything. I skipped 190 and went straight to 210, because I usually do that with my nighttime strains anyway, but there's just no flavour to this whatsoever. There's absolutely nothing coming through. A strange, maybe faint bitterness. I think that might just be from the vapour or from the bong or whatever. Obviously it's a clean bong, fresh water, but a tiny faint little bit of bitterness. Maybe a tiny little bit of sweetness, but I'm really struggling. This tastes like nothing at all. So jumping into my first impressions, the looks. For £5.50 a gram, it's really not the worst thing that you're going to see on UK Medical. It's a bit old, it looks a little bit brown, but honestly, to me, the orangey brown hue reminds me a lot of the mint sherbet. It's not quite on the level of the mint sherbet was better. I should add that and clarify that. But for £5.50 a gram, you can't really complain. It's not that bad. It's a little bit dry, but you shouldn't complain, and I'm actually not going to complain. For £5.50 a gram, the looks, I'm going to give it 6 out of 10. For the smell of the whole nugs, it's a little bit gassy, a little bit sweet, kind of like green bananas. It's not terrible, but you do really have to bury your nose in the bag to find it. I'll give it a 6 for the whole nugs. It's not amazing, but again, for £5.50 a gram, it's not the worst. Grinding a nug down usually makes the smell more intense, it unlocks it, makes it fruity, it makes it better. This, it doesn't really do that. It smells pretty much the same. You can tell that I'm medicated now, pretty much the same, but it's, again, really, really muted. I felt like at some point I was going to end up snorting it with the amount that I was trying to push my nose into it to find any smell. I'm going to stick with the 6 though. I'm going to be generous, I think, to this strain. Taste is non-existent. It's got to get a 0. I've tried and tried to find any semblance of taste at all, even one that I don't like. Any form of taste whatsoever in this bud, and I've got absolutely nothing. So that is really disappointing. Banana Ice Cake, all of its parents, it has such a potential to be a really, really nice strain, but there's just no flavour to it. There's barely any smell, there's no taste at all, and it doesn't look the best. Almost forgot to talk about the effects. Obviously, effects are subjective, so what affects me might not be the same for you. Although this is 18%, and I wasn't expecting it to knock me out, I feel almost awake. Now, it might be because I'm doing a video at night, and I usually do my videos in the afternoon, morning, daytime, and it's currently 25 to 8, so maybe that's why I feel a little bit more energized. But yeah, I do feel relaxed, I will say that. Relaxed and energized, I guess they kind of counteract each other, but I don't know, I guess I feel a little bit more alert and awake is not the word that I'm looking for. Maybe social is maybe the word. My body does feel mildly relaxed. I can feel a slight heaviness, nothing crazy, and I don't know why I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but my brain doesn't feel awake, it doesn't feel alert, it feels very calm, and my mouth's going a mile a minute, so whatever that means. Again, going back to the fact that this is only 18%, I was hoping that the terps would play a big role in this. That's a major part of why I picked it. I was hoping that the gelato and the wedding cake and also the banana, even though I've never tried it, I was hoping it was all going to come through, but it honestly tastes like nothing. And when you're relying on the terps because you've gone for a weaker strain at a lower price point, thinking that you're not expecting it to look or smell great, but just hoping and praying that the terps are there, and they're just not. It's really disappointing. I'm not saying that all the cheaper strains are bad, because I haven't tried any of the cheaper strains, so keep that in mind when I'm talking about this. I feel like I've been very, very fair with the looks and the smell, or lack of, so I'm not going to completely shit on this. For a £5.50 strain, it doesn't look terrible. I'm going to stick with the 6. The smell, there is a smell, but it's hard to find. What little smell there is again not terrible, so I'm going to knock it down a little bit. I'm going to give it a 5. And then the taste is non-existent, so that's a 0. Effects for me, I feel alright. I feel a little bit disappointed, but just in myself and in my mind, I actually feel pretty good. So effects wise for me, just going off that one capsule that I vaped, it's alright so far. I'm going to go for, I'm going to give it a 7 for the effects right now, because I do feel good. So for my first time trying this Kiron Banana Ice Cake, I'm going to give it a straight middle of the road 5. This could be better, but then again, all medical good, that is just evidence there that it's working, but all medical bud could be better at this point. I really don't want to shit on it, but it's not great. I wouldn't get it again, and I don't recommend it. If it's improved, if it's got even just one iota of flavour in there, I would get it again, but just as it is now, I can't see me getting this again. Obviously I have to finish it, so my opinion might change at the end of the month, but for now, 5 out of 10. If you like this video, leave a like, leave me a comment telling me if you've tried this strain and what I should get on my next script. Subscribe for more videos, keep your eyes peeled for the full review and whatever I try next. Don't forget to subscribe like I already said. Peace.